Hello everyone. Yes, today I will show you as many as 2 traps, but rather one will be this trap, and the second is more of an opponent's mistake, even a number of mistakes. Today we will consider a rare gambit e4, c5. There is a Sicilian defense with a bunch of different options, but here white can choose a very rare gambit. They have almost never played like this against me, but it exists. It is quite aggressive, and this move is a pawn on the b4 field. This is the Sicilian Gambit, the so-called wing gambit. Black is fundamentally taking this pawn, and here 3 can play with you, giving another pawn, but this pawn cannot be taken. Here it is best to play d5, bang in the center, open your white floored elephant. If you take it further, then you can also develop the elephant sharply to the opponent, and why do we need it? So let the pawn hang, it will still keep up with her there. Taking, we take the queen, and here you see what position arises. There is a pawn hanging, which I want to win back already. If the opponent uses this gambit for the first time or one of his first, so to speak, experiments in this gambit, he can very quickly win back this pawn by taking the pawns, and it seems that there is nothing wrong with that. I have returned the material, the felt is in the center. Now we will start with the pace of attacking it, developing your figures, but instead it may simply turn out to be such an easy fork and the loss of an entire rook. I don't get anything in return for white here. In this position, it was worth playing a knight in 3, with equal positions, but black has a little more pleasant. This is the first trap, such a childish one, few people will fall into it, but you should know it yourself. If you want, you never know if such a gambit will appeal to you aggressively enough and you will use it. And let's consider another variation of this gambit e4, c5, b4 took, and here instead of a move a3 white can capture the center with a move d4. Just like that, take the pawns, stick them in the center. Well, why not? 2 pawns in the center, the bishops are open, black has a pawn somewhere on the edge, but instead of the center, black has an extra pawn so far. This is the material. While everything is fine, there is still only the third move, friends. There is a lot to play here. e5, such an interesting subversion is chosen by the blacks. They took it. A knight enters the field at 6, attacks a pawn. A knight at 3 protects a pawn. Knight e7, the bishop goes to the field f4, reinforcing the pawn. The knight flies out to the field w6, and once again she attacks. Here it turns out that black is pressing on the pawn on the field e5. They are trying to win back the material, not even to win back, to win extra material, because the pawn on the field b4 is likely to get lost sooner or later. She does not really feel there yet, but the position has already leveled off. Despite the fact that these 2 pawns are interesting in the center of white, the position is already absolutely equal, and there is an interesting move here. The queen attacked the pawn again for the 3rd time. If white tries to play queen d5 with you here, offering a change, you don't change anything, you play aggressively b3, offering to take your queen. But taking him is not the best solution. Here, the strongest solution is to move the knight on the field d2 to close. What will happen if the queen is taken away? To take the queen, you take and do not take the knight. Yes, just like that, you give a queen. It will show that you have an extra queen, but you are playing a pawn on field b2 with the idea of taking a rook and putting a new queen, and you already have an extra rook. Here it is necessary to somehow defend against this threat. It is necessary to play the queen on the field of tsc3, attacking the pawn. You will tell me so there is a move of the bishop b4 and you will be completely right, fed tied. But white manages to play a knight on the d2 field and move away from the loophole to take the queen. And there is such a very interesting position. Of course, black is much nicer here. Their pawn has gone so far, and the game will most likely be built around this pawn, and not around 2 pawns in the center. By the way, one of them may already be lost, and the king can also be castled. Here is a rather interesting gambit. In fact, white has a lot of interesting options there, too, but today we have considered 2 options for the development of the event for black. It's not a fact that it can be played with you. It's not a fact that you will play it yourself. Just for general development, for the vision of the game, for combinations. Thank you so much, friends, for watching. Videos on the channel are released daily. If you liked the video, you can like it, you can go to the channel, you can watch a lot more there. It seems to me that you can watch it for a week in a row. I have so many videos, maybe 500 of them, maybe even more, I've already lost count. So subscribe so as not to lose me. I wish you happiness, health and a peaceful sky over your head. Bye bye.